Okay, stretching. Hold the stretches for 20 to 30 seconds. You can hold them longer. Just do what feels good is what I typically do. I like to pulse a little bit so it's not a ballistic stretch, but relaxing, inhaling, and then really opening the muscle up and stretching it while I exhale a couple times. So start with standing stretches. Even if you have really good balance, I'd love for you to hold on to something so that you can fully relax your target muscle. So we'll start with the quad, and you just want to grab your shin bone above the ankle and straighten out the hip joint. I like to pull the shoulder back and then use the bicep muscle to really get that quad opened up. So it's going to look like that. You don't need to pull it out or lean way forward or do anything like that. It's just a simple pulling back, keeping the knees fairly close together. Again, 20, 30 or more seconds each side, at least 20 or 30. And as you inhale and relax and let it go, you can usually get that muscle to open up a little bit more. The next standing stretch we'll do is for hamstrings. It feels great if you can elevate your foot on anything. You can use a chair or bench or even a step. It doesn't have to be this high up. I like to keep the knees and ankles fairly loose, not locked. Leg turn out slightly. Reach around with the opposite hand towards the outside of the foot. And you're going to feel a whole line open up back here. If I do this side so you can see. So I'm reaching on the outside of the foot. And my target muscle is right here. I also feel it opening up. You can open up your lats on the opposite side, and you can pull this in different directions. It feels awesome. You can play around with your leg angle a little bit. It's going to change where the stretch is behind the upper leg here. And that's a nice hamstring stretch. The third stretch is going to be, we're going to use a wall. So it's for the chest. We'll do one at a time. You're going to line yourself up with the corner of the wall and keep your feet together. You're going to stand about a foot away from the wall. And the back of your heels are going to line up with the edge of the wall. You're going to place your palm and your forearm up against the corner here, flat. Your elbow is going to be above the shoulder, not down here. That would be more of an anterior delt stretch. You're trying to get the pec right here in the chest. So you're going to pivot. You're going to keep your heels in one place and just pivot your feet out as far as you can. And then I like to just pulse into it right there to get this band opened up. If you have range of motion limitations in your shoulders, some people have old injuries that prevents them from comfortably getting in this position. You're just going to have to play around with it. This is more of a delt stretch, but I've had clients kind of figure out something like this to try to get the actual pec stretched. And then you would just switch. Here, elbow is above the shoulder. I'm lining up my feet with the edge of the wall here. Feet together. Heels stay in the same place. I pivot my toes out and then push into the chest like that. Okay, I'm going to do a series of lying down stretches next. The first one is going to be for the glutes. And I'll show you from this angle. You lay on your back. Bring your legs up. You're going to cross one ankle over your knee. I'll show you from the side here. And there's different ways to do this depending on how flexible you are. Some people like to reach around behind the thigh and interlock the fingers. What we're doing is using the knee to bring that up. And you want to relax your neck and upper body once you get your hands set. And you're just easing as you exhale this knee towards your chest, this ankle towards your chest. You're opening up the back of the hip. And then I'll show you from this direction. Keep in mind that the hip is a ball and socket joint, so it's not just gonna open up in one direction. I usually start on the outside, come in a little bit, come out, bring it back in over here, and then I'm just working in a couple degrees at a time. And eventually, I can let one hand go. I'll just reach around with the other hand. And usually the tightest spot on people in the glutes is where you get the knee pretty close to the middle of the chest, right over the sternum. And I'm just going to relax and really open up the back of the hip. Switch legs, try the other side. You can reach around back. I like to just grab the outside of my knee and bring that knee towards the torso at different angles. So you get the whole back, posterior part of the hip. The next lying down stretch. It's a lower back outer hip twist. And so I'm going to keep both of my scapular or my shoulder blades flat on the floor. I'm going to rotate the hips. I'm going to put this foot right over the outside of the knee on my straight leg. The other leg I'm going to just leave laying straight. Try to keep this shoulder blade on the floor, and then you're going to reach up with a hand and gently press it towards the floor. So I'm getting my outer hip and my lower back. If you let your shoulder come up, you're going to push the knee all the way down and you're not going to get much of a stretch. If you keep your shoulder flat on the floor, and even better yet, your whole shoulder blade flat on the floor, you don't have to push so hard. You get a really nice stretch. You can also do this one down here to get more lower back. And as you bring your knee up, you're going to get more outer hip. And I'll just switch sides so you can see from the other angle. Keeping my shoulder flat, my shoulder blade flat, reaching up, grabbing the knee, and just gently pressing it towards the floor. It's opening up this entire area and also all through here. And then the final stretch will be sitting down or sitting up. Feet together, knees out to the side. If you're going to grab your shoes, it's really helpful to get the body down and to assist in the stretch. Try to pull them out a little bit like that. And then I like to do this in a couple ways. I get really tight at my lower back right through here. And this stretch feels great. If you really round out your back and bring your head down towards your feet, I'll show you from the profile. So rounding out and bringing the head down, I can feel it in here in the groin stretch. I also feel a really nice secondary stretch right on that target. And then the other thing I do is kind of reach over here like this, and you can pull out the lats where they attach away from the pelvis as well. And it feels awesome. So I'll do a rounded, bring my feet in as I warm up a little bit or loosen up a little bit. And then I like to do a back arched and coming down that way. Feels awesome. And then alternate to rounded again. Little pulsing very gently, not to pull anything of course, but just easing the hip joints open. And that is the stretching routine.